I'm always very appreciative of guys like you that are in my age range, very fit and very active, and you keep going. Whereas a lot of guys around 55, like, it's a wrap. I like to see guys that are in my age bracket or a little bit ahead of me, like, oh, he's going. I can keep going too. I think a lot of that is just thinking and knowing that you can. So many people feel like, hey, I'm 45. It's time to settle down. It's time to relax and, and wind down this exercise.
People use that as a disclaimer to not do the work. I'm too old. I think that's a way out. The body, the adaptation, if you ever put yourself under some real severe stress in multiple days, the first day you feel like you're not going to be able to make it. The second day you're feeling, like you can't. The third really can't make it. Pretty soon the fourth day, the body's like, oh, this is the new house we're living in. Like, this is where we're at. Okay, well, we're going to adapt and modify. And then pretty soon you're doing even more than you were doing the first couple days, and you're not even feeling it. We're an amazing machine, we're an amazing creature.
You know who Eddie Izzard is?
Yeah.
He ran a series of marathons all around the UK, and then he did one in South Africa. Yeah. And he was telling me that when you first started doing it, like the first few were really hard, but then your body's like, well, this is what we do. We run marathons. And then like day 3, day 4, things started picking up, day 5. And by the time day 10 came along, he's just running.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I got a friend ran 125 in a row, and then he ran the Boston after that. And then he had a fight in Vegas, and he ran a marathon in the morning, and then he knocked the guy out in the third round after.
Holy shit.
Tom Jones, 7-time Muay Thai world champion.
That's crazy. So he ran 125 marathons in a row. So 125 days of marathons?
To Boston, and then he ran the Boston when he got there. He ran across the country.
A lot of hard work and dedication and not being willing to give up.
One of my best friends just passed this last year, and he was 85 when he passed. And he did the Ironman 10 times. The first time was when he was 50. He's done the Race Across America 3 times. I mean, bang iron every day, ride the bike.
At 85, he was doing all that still?
An animal. An animal till the day he died. The irony was his name was Don Wildman. I go, anybody named the Wildman's got to keep it up. It's interesting to see in sports, we have a lot of athletes right now that are the oldest that we've seen. I believe a lot of it has to do with the fact that they have some examples, but they're also not accepting that, hey, now you're too old. Because that's a decision. Like, hey, oh, now you're too old. You're going to keep doing that? It's like, yeah, you're going to do it all the way until they throw the dirt on the box. Like we're going all the way full speed until we're not. And then when we're not, we're not. I always say if people stop doing something, like they go, oh, I'm going to retire now, man, I'm getting old in the sport. It's really not that they're getting old. It's just that they've made a decision that they don't want to do anymore. And they just use the age as a disclaimer, like, hey, I'm good.
For some folks, I think it's a mental tiredness. Keeping up their enthusiasm is probably the difficult thing. I think a lot of people look forward to retirement, right? They look forward to those golden years where they're just holding hands and walking towards the sunset. Where some people look forward to some day where they don't have to struggle.
The system is a little bit designed to struggle. Everything that we do that's good for us has a certain amount of stress. You want to get in that sauna? You want to get on that salt bike? You want to jump in that ring? You want to hike that mountain? It's all stress driven. The fact is, that's our universe. That's the universe we live in. I appreciate let's hack our way through it. And I think there's ways that hacking supports us. But thinking that you can just hack your way through and not actually suffer, it's impossible. You gotta suffer.
I also think you don't appreciate the good times unless you suffer. I think I appreciate food more when I work out. I appreciate life more. I like doing things more when I struggle. But a lot of people don't recognize that. That's a lesson I think people really need to get drilled into their head.
It's not that tricky.
Right.
No, I'm just saying this isn't rocket science. This isn't like elaborate. It's available for everybody. Just move.
The future of humans does not look so rosy when you really think about how we're slowly deteriorating, becoming these gelatinous balls of meat.
Stewards! Hello!
Please remain safe.
And the bodies are connected to the brains. And so that's why we have some mind issues too. Because at the end of the day, the bodies aren't functioning correctly, so that's not feeding the brain correctly. When you're really physically well, then your thoughts are physically well.
Well, they've shown in studies that regular exercise is as effective at SSRIs. I think also diet, because of inflammation. Like, the inflammation for sure leads to all sorts of different ailments, which could lead to a depressed feeling, a feeling of unwellness.
Eat a bunch of garbage for a week and see how you feel. I really believe that to truly have optimum performance, that you have to have every spoke in the tire. That you need every single spoke. That you have to have a good relationship with your family. You got to have love, and you got to have good things with your kids, and you got to have friends, and you got to have your health, and you got to sleep well, and you got to be hydrated, and you got to work out, and you got to have a business thing. I think you just have to have all these things to really have balance. If one of the spokes isn't tight, that there's a bump in the wheel. I don't truly believe that you're performing at your optimum, because your head needs to be clear when you go into your performance, whatever that looks like.